All right, we are live. What's up, guys? We got 7 game slate here to discuss on Saturday, and there is a lot of things to discuss. We got a lot of injuries, a lot of value plays, so I'll try to decipher this. First, let's go over what we know so far. So, let's see. The big news, or one of the big news, is Draymond Green is out, and D'Angelo Russell is listed as questionable. So if D'Angelo Russell misses, there's just no one left on that Golden State roster, and they're going to have to score points somehow. So there's definitely going to be some value plays in Golden State to consider. Hassan Whiteside is out, so I assume Scal picks up the start. And they're pretty thin up front, Portland. They don't have Whiteside, they don't have Zach Collins. So Scal could be asked to play some big minutes, maybe 30 or 30 plus if he stays out of foul trouble at mid price. He's one of my favorite value plays. Then we just got the news out of Detroit here. Both Derrick Rose and Tim Frazier are out. So they're going to be very, very thin up front or for the guard situation. So let's take a look at some over-unders and spreads here before we get into the prices. Let's see. Let's go to NBA. Okay, so Nets Pistons at 223. Nets are favored by 4.5. Nuggets Magic sitting at 200. Haven't seen that low of an over-under all season. Denver, 4.5-point favorites. T-Wolves Wizards, pretty appealing game, 228.5, with the Wizards favored by 3. Suns Grizzlies at 221.5. Suns favored by 3.5. Raptors Bucks at 227. Bucks favored by 6. Hornets Warriors, 221.5. Hornets are favored by 5. 76ers Trailblazers, 223.5, with Portland favored by 1. Kings Knicks. That's tomorrow. Never mind. Okay. So that's it. So let's go team by team here. We'll start with the first game here: Denver and Orlando. Orlando. Honestly, not a whole lot I'm targeting in this game. It's kind of a stay away, to be honest. A very low over under. Like Jokic is just like I talked about in my video. He'll have games where he literally just stay in the corner and not take shots. Like he shot the ball 8 and 6 times last couple games. So it's just kind of a luck of the draw whether or not you're going to get aggressive Jokic or not. And in this big of a slate, it's just not something I want to take a shot at 10.3K. Jamal Murray now is priced about right. Will Barton is out. Craig and Malik Beasley will pick up some more minutes, but I just think there's better value plays. Michael Porter Jr. possibly at 3.1K, played 21 minutes. I think I would only consider him if he starts, but yeah, Denver really as a whole, it's kind of a fade for me. And same thing with Orlando. Vucevic is priced up. Gordon and Isaac are okay. They seem a little underpriced, but I don't think we have to go there in the slate. And then Fournier, DJ Augustine, like Fultz, it's honestly, this game is kind of just a stay away for me. So next game, we got Nets, Pistons. Kyrie at the top at 9.3K. We know he has big upside, 60, 70 fantasy point upside in a game where he's probably going to be going up against like Langston Galloway. So there's obviously big upside here for Kyrie. LeVert, I think, is okay in the mid-range. Going to play some solid minutes, 35 or so probably. And again, Detroit really weak at the guard position. So don't mind either of the top 2 guards. Dinwiddie and Prince are okay. Don't know if I want to go there. I do kind of like the price tag here on Jarrett Allen at 4.5K. Again, Detroit runs big, so him and DeAndre Jordan are going to split the center minutes. He could play 25 or so minutes. And I do like his power forward eligible. So definitely think he's a solid play, but that's kind of it for Brooklyn. As far as Detroit, so this is interesting. We got no D Rose, no Reggie Jackson, and no Tim Frazier. So the 3 top point guards are out for Detroit. And Derrick Rose, that was a lot of usage coming off the bench. So with him out, there is a lot to go around. Now Drummond here at 10.1K has got to be the do-it-all guy. With no Derrick Rose now, he's going to be asked to play huge minutes. I think 35 to 40 minutes if he stays out of foul trouble. The matchup's pretty solid, so I think he's a very good spend up here at 10.1. The other options, like Kennard, might be able to pass to play point guard a bit. Kind of like the price here on Markieff Morris at 4.1K. Langston Galloway, I assume, picks up the start at point guard. We'll see. He's at 3.6K. If he starts, like, the Pistons really don't have any other point guards, I guess. Is Jordan Bone will be active for Saturday's game. Well, that was against the 76ers. I honestly don't even know if Bone is available to play. And then they have like Luke Kennard and Bruce Brown Jr. But yeah, Detroit is really thin at the guard position. So you could look to a guy like You could look to a guy like Galloway if he starts. Kennard and Bruce Brown Jr. will play some more minutes. So really, these value guards I think are solid. I think my favorite would be Galloway if he picks up a start there, 3.6K. But that's kind of it for Detroit. Again, there's a lot of value plays too in the slate, so picking the right ones is going to be crucial to cashing tonight. Galloway's solid. I don't think he's the best value play, but I do think he's in play as one of the top value plays. So let's move on to Toronto, Milwaukee. Another game I'm not super high on. Two pretty solid defensive teams. I was kind of surprised the over/under was listed this high at 227. If I was a betting man betting on games, I think I would bet the under there in Toronto, Milwaukee. Siakam at 8.5K is has 40-50 fantasy point upside, but I just don't think I want to go there in the slate. I think I like better spots for studs and better spots. So for that reason, probably not going to go Siakam. Lowry's priced up now. Van Fleet's okay. Ibaka and Gasol, nothing to be excited about. So really no one I'm super excited about. OG Anunoby's been playing big minutes. He's been solid. I kind of like him as a value play, I guess. But yeah, overall, kind of like the Denver-Orlando game. It's kind of a stay away from me. If we go to Milwaukee side, Giannis, you could go there if you really want to. 10.7, he seems priced about right. It's a difficult matchup. Like, Toronto's pretty solid defensively, so I think he's a contrarian spend up. He could go there, but personally, I just like better spots. And then Middleton and Bledsoe are just never guys I get on with Giannis healthy. Brook Lopez, not really for me. These value guys are okay. George Hill, Ilyasova. Content currently listed as questionable, always probable. So those three could be, you could target those guys as value plays, but are you going to target these value guys over like a Galloway or over some Golden State guys we'll talk about or over the Minnesota bigs? Or, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, these value guys are good. Like, George Hill and Ilyasova have been really good, but I think I'm going to prefer other value plays in this slate. Let's move on to Phoenix, Memphis. So Phoenix at the top, I really like Devin Booker here. Again, Memphis, this is not the same. I'll keep repeating myself for a while. This is not the same defensive team. They play at a faster pace. Devin Booker with no Ayton is going to play 35 to 40 minutes if he stays out of foul trouble. He's a guy that, as a guard, gets in foul trouble a lot. But, yeah, I love his upside here. I love the price. Oubre is definitely viable as well. It's been a little up and down, but does have 40 fantasy point upside. I think I would just prefer to pay the little more, though, for Devin Booker. Rubio's okay in the mid-range, a guy that will fill up the stat sheet. Aaron Baines in play. I just don't think we get 58 fantasy points again. I think people will chase that. So if I think he's going to be that popular, I just don't think I want to go there. I think he plays 25 or so minutes and probably gets you 25 to 30 fantasy points. So I think he's definitely viable at 5K. I'm just not going to chase that big game. Saric has been very up and down, 45, 9, 38, 18. So he's a GPP target for sure at a cheap price with upside. So yeah, he's a little riskier, but I do like it. Kaminsky, I think everyone will be off him after that off game. He had been playing 30 minutes a game and then only played 18 because he's 0 of 6 and it was the Aaron Baines show. Memphis does run big, so maybe Kaminsky plays a few extra minutes. I think he's going to go virtually unowned, probably sub 1% because everyone, again, they have recency bias. And the cheap options, I don't think I want to target any of those guys. So really, personally for me, I really like Devin Booker. The other guys are okay. It's just really kind of Booker that stands off the page for me here for Phoenix. On the Memphis side, Jaren Jackson Jr. is just, I don't know if I want to go there on this big of a slate. We know the upside's there, but he is just literally every single game is in foul trouble. So yeah, it's just a GPP dart for me. Like he's too risky for me on a main slate like this. John Morant at 6.8K. The minutes are just not there for him right now. He's playing 25 or so minutes a game. I just can't do it. Jonas Valanciunas intrigues me here at 6.5K. It's kind of annoying. I don't think we're going to get news of what the minutes restriction is going to be. If I knew he was off the minutes limit and he played like 30 minutes, he would probably be one of my favorite, if not my favorite play of the day here. It's just, I think he's going to be limited to like 20 to 25. So, yeah, he's definitely still viable, though, in that amount of time. So hopefully we get some news of, the minutes limit for him. Jay Crowder's okay in the mid-range, going to play big minutes, not the highest usage guy. And then these like cheaper plays, I just prefer other value plays in the slate, so I don't think we have to go there. Minnesota, Washington. So the big news, obviously, no Cat. He's going to be out for a couple games. So now we got the Andrew Wiggins show. Not a guy that I normally like playing in DFS. He's very scoring dependent, but he's probably going to shoot the ball 25 times this game. and it's a great matchup against Washington. So I'm a little torn in this one. I don't currently have him in my lineup, but I am a little scared about it because he's going to be the go-to guy now. So yeah, I think he's viable at 7.1K. It's just very, very score independent. So if his shot's not falling, he can still hurt you. So yeah, I'm a little worried, but I don't have him currently in my lineup. Jeff Teague at 5.9K is also going to have to pick up the pace here. Probably going to play 25 to 30 minutes. It's a great matchup against Washington. So him, Andrew Wiggins are going to shoot the ball more, and Teague is definitely viable at 5.9K. Covington, he's a guy that's kind of stand in the corner, shoot threes, but can get you their blocks and steals, and will probably get more rebounds in this game with no Cat. So, and he is a pretty good rebounder, so he's definitely viable as well in the mid-range at 5.4. And then the cheap options. So really like Noah Vonleh here at 4.2K. I don't think we have a starting lineup yet for Minnesota, but I'd assume Vonleh picks up a start, and it's a great matchup here against Thomas Bryant. If Vonleh starts, I think he plays 25 or so minutes, maybe a little bit more. He's a guy that when he's out there, he's basically like a point per minute guy. So if he plays 25 or so minutes, he's probably going to get you 25 or so fantasy points. It's a great matchup, so I do like him a good amount here as a value play. Same thing with Jordan Bell. Probably going to come off the bench, would be asked to play some decent minutes. I'd say if he comes off the bench, probably 20, maybe a little bit more. Another guy that is very productive when he's out there. In 5 minutes in that game, he put up 10 fantasy points. So yes, Bell, Vonleh, really like those guys as value plays. The guards, not super, super high on these value guards. Gorgie Jang is just another big to have. I don't necessarily know if he'll be in the rotation. We'll see. That does slightly worry me that he's still on the roster, right? So they have Vonleh, they have Bell, and they could use Gorgie Jang, so it could be kind of like a three-man rotation, which could limit the minutes for everyone. So that does slightly worry me. But yeah, if he's not in the rotation, I think Bell and Noah Vonleh will have to play some big minutes. I do like those guys a good amount here as value plays. On the Washington side, it's Beal at the top at 9.7K. Just put up 72 fantasy points. He's a guy that's going to play 35 to 40 minutes in a close game. It's a great matchup against probably Andrew Wiggins' defense. Yeah, I do like him as a spend up. And I think not a lot of people will be on him because the price tag went up a lot to 9.7K. I know he just had that big game, but I think people might look elsewhere. I really like the upside still here on Beal, so like him a good amount. Thomas Bryant at 7.2K going to be going up against Noah Vonleh or Jordan Bell. I really like him as a contrarian play here in the mid-range because I don't think anyone's going to be on him. People are going to go for those value guys, and then they're going to plug in the stars. And Thomas Bryant is a guy that I think can crush. I think he can get you 50 fantasy points. He's not currently in my lineup, but if I was a guy that's making multiple lineups, I would for sure throw him in there one just because he's going to have a great matchup and going to play 30 or so minutes. Isaiah Thomas is interesting here at 4.8K. I think it's a GPP only play, but he's been great in limited time. 20, 24 minutes, 28 and 36 fantasy points. If he starts or there's no minutes limit, then I would really like him. And we don't have that news yet. But yeah, I think just keep an eye on Isaiah Thomas. If he starts, I would really like him there at 4.8K. The other cheap options, I just think there's better value plays on the board, so I don't think I want to go there with the Washington cheap guys. I mean, Bertans is actually solid here at 4.1K. He's a guy that 25 to 30 minutes, he's been pretty good. So yes, I would consider Bertans as a cheap play actually, but I think that's basically it. So let's move on to Charlotte Golden State. This is a game that, if you're game stacking, I kind of like it just because everyone's cheap. We're still waiting on D'Angelo Russell news, but if he misses, literally, like I think Terry Rozier is the highest price guy if D'Angelo Russell misses. Yeah, 6.9K. So you could definitely get a lot of pieces in this game, stack it up, and then run it back with some stars. Wouldn't mind that at all, but Terry Rozier, really like him at 6.9K. Going to play 35 or so minutes in a close game. You can't get a better matchup than this. So I do like him a good amount. I think he goes a little bit lower owned too, but I love his upside here. PJ Washington at 6.7K is another guy that will play big minutes. I think he's priced about right, though. I think I like the upside a bit more there in Rozier. Cody Zeller, I do like a good amount here at 6.4. Biggs have just been destroying Golden State. So he's a guy that in a close game will probably play 30 to 35 minutes. And I think he's got some upside. He put up 50 fantasy points in one game. So I think Cody Zeller, another guy in the mid-range that kind of goes forgotten about, but I do kind of like I like his price there. Devontae Graham coming out the bench, and he's playing big minutes. He's playing alongside Rozier too, which I do like. So you could play both those guys if you really wanted to. But yeah, going to play 30 or so minutes, and he's been really good here at 5.8K. Bridges is okay. Bacon's okay. These guys, it's a great matchup. So you can look to these guys. I think they go a little bit lower owned. But that's basically it for Charlotte. So finally, this is the headache here at Golden State. no Draymond Green, no Looney, obviously no Steph, and D'Angelo Russell is questionable. If he misses, this is going to be tricky to figure out. If he plays, I really like him as a spend up at 8.9K just because look at their roster. Like, they have no one else that, can score the ball, really. So D'Angelo Russell, would really like him there if he plays, so that's something we have to monitor. If he misses, then it's tricky. So you got guys like Damian Lee, Jordan Poole, Alec Burks, Kai Bowman will all probably be asked to play big minutes. And it's a little tricky to pick which one you want, but any of these guys are viable. I think Damian Lee and Poole would probably be the preferred targets just because Damian Lee has flashed a bit upside. Same with Poole. They've been playing the most minutes out of the guards. And we know, Poole is going to shoot the ball a ton when he's out there, a little score independent. But I think Poole and Lee would be my favorite guards here. Alec Burks definitely viable as well. They've just been limiting his minutes a bit, only 18 and 16 minutes. If he starts, I would like him. Kai Bowman, don't know a whole lot about him, but he's playing decent minutes as well. I think it would probably be my least favorite because he's 4.6K. And then the big situation with no Draymond Green. Cauley Stein, I would really like if there's no minutes limit, but they've been limiting his minutes last couple games, 12 and 17. If we hear that there's no minutes limit, then I really like him at 4.7K. But if we don't hear anything, I probably can't do it because I would think they would still limit his minutes. Now, a guy like Pascal probably going to pick up a start and be asked to play big minutes. I think 30 to 35 minutes. So he's definitely a value guy you got to consider. Glenn Robinson's in play too. Really, you could target any of these Golden State cheap guys. They're all going to ask to be play big minutes. Even a guy like Marquise Chris. With no Draymond, there's just so many minutes to go around for those bigs. And Marquise Chris is a guy that we know, the upside's there. He's a guy that will get in foul trouble a lot, but if he stays out of foul trouble and we can project him to play 20 to 25 minutes, then you got to consider him here at 3.1. Same thing with Spellman. Really, you could honestly make a case for any of these Golden State guys that are healthy. They have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then Cauley Stein's, limited. So, 9 players possibly if D'Angelo Russell misses. So there's going to be big minutes. It's a great matchup. You're probably going to want some value plays here from Golden State, sorry. If D'Angelo Russell plays, I wouldn't be as high on those guards. If he misses, you're going to have to, probably play one of these value guys, maybe 2 for Golden State, just because there's just so much usage and minutes to go around here on this team. So this is the key to the slate here, the Golden State value guys. It's tricky, kind of. Again, I think the top 2 guards, if D'Angelo Russell misses, would be Damian Lee and Jordan Poole. And then those big guys, Willie Cauley-Stein, if there's no minutes limit, we'll like him a lot. Pascal will probably have to play big minutes, kind of like Marquise Chris as a value play, same thing with Spellman. So, yeah, there's Golden State guys. You're definitely probably going to want to get 1 or 2 of these guys if D'Angelo Russell misses 2. The problem is there's other really good value plays as well, right? I already talked about a Galloway. We'll talk about Scal in a sec. I really like him. You got Vonleh and Bell. So the tricky part is kind of differentiating which value plays you want here. Finally, we got Philly, Portland, no Embiid, so there's a lot of usage around for this Philly team. I think the top 2 targets for me would be Al Horford and Tobias Harris. Probably going to start Horford at the 5 with Tobias at the 4. In a matchup against Scal and who do they start? Bazemore at the 4. I forget who they start at the 4, Portland, but either way, it's a great matchup with no Embiid. There's so much usage to go around. I like Tobias. I like Al Horford a good amount. You could go Ben Simmons. I think he goes a lot lower on the slate because everyone is going to go Horford. Everyone's going to go Tobias. I think they're probably my preferred targets. That doesn't mean Ben Simmons is out of play, though. I think he goes a lot lower owned, and we know he's got 50, 60 fantasy point upside. So definitely viable as well. Josh Richardson gets a boost. The main 4 here, Ben Simmons, Tobias, Horford, Josh Richardson, all very much in play. The value guys like Thibault could pick up the start. He did that with a 1 game Embiid misses, but I think I just prefer other value plays. Kyle O'Quinn I would consider if he starts. If he doesn't start, I just don't think the minutes will be high enough on him. So yeah, it's really those main 4 guys and O'Quinn if he does start. Lastly, we got Portland. Dame and CJ at the top. With no Whiteside, that's some usage to go around. Both those guys are going to be asked to carry the offense. So both are definitely viable here at 9.1 and 6.7K. Still no Zach Collins. So guys like Bazemore, Hood, and Hazonia are viable as cheap options. I think there's better value plays. I don't think we got to consider those guys necessarily. Tolliver's been starting and playing decent minutes. But again, I think I prefer other value plays on the slate. And then finally, we got Scal LaBCA at min price, most likely going to pick up the start here. Portland, if you look at their bigs, they literally have like no one. No Whiteside, no Collins, no Pau Gasol, no Nurkic. Moses Brown, I don't even know if he's on the roster. Let's see. Brown has Exhibit 10 contract turned into a two-way contract by Portland. Okay, so I guess he's a body they can use, but really, like, Portland has, I mean, are they going to run like Tolliver at the 5? Probably not. So they're really thin up front. I think Scal most likely picks up the start and probably is going to be asked to play some decent minutes. And he's a guy that is a fantasy point per minute guy. He's a guy who can get your blocks, steals. As long as he stays out of foul trouble, there is foul trouble concern for sure. But at min price, he's one of my favorite value plays. So, just a brief overview again of the value plays I like. Those Detroit guards are definitely viable. Probably Galloway, if he starts, would be the preferred option. On the Minnesota side, you got Vanla and Jordan Bell, which I do like. Charlotte side, or a Golden State side, there's so many guys. Again, it kind of is up in the air now, waiting for the D'Angelo Russell news. And then Scal LaBCA, I like a good amount here. So those are probably the top targets for value plays, at least in the slate. But we got, like 20 minutes to lock. Let me check, see if we got any more news here on Twitter. Oh, they're starting Gorgie Jang for Cat. Okay. So that changes some things up. Let me retweet that. That changes a lot of things up, actually, because now with Gorgie, I was kind of hoping they wouldn't do that, because now they got a three-man rotation here with Gorgie Jang, Noah Vanla, and Jordan Bell. But if Gorgie Jang's going to pick up the start, I think he's one of the top value plays. Again, him, Scal, those Golden State guys. So I do like Gorgie Jang a good amount. Hasn't played much this season, but if he's starting, he's probably going to play 25 or so minutes. So, I do like Gorgie Jang a good amount here. He's a guy who can get their blocks and steals. And then guys like Vanla and Jordan Bell take a little bit of a hit. I still think they're going to be asked to play some more minutes. I don't think Gorgie Jang will play 35 minutes, but I think 20 to 25 for Gorgie Jang, maybe a little bit more. So now Gorgie Jang is probably the preferred, safer option with Vanla and Jordan Bell a little riskier coming off the bench. I still do like Vanla and Vanla and Jordan Bell. God, I can't talk, but they're just a little riskier now. So I got to rearrange my lineup now because I had both those value guys in there for Minnesota. But let's get to some questions here. Vanla's still cash viable? I don't think so now. I think he's a little bit riskier just because he's going to be coming off the bench. I still think, again, I don't think Gorgie Jang plays like 35 minutes, so I think Vanla probably goes up a tick to like 20 or so minutes, 25 maybe. But like my lineup this AM and still do like all the news. Only question is how Pistons look without guards, LOL. Yeah. Did the Pistons announce the starting lineup yet? I know they're the early game, right? I don't see the starting lineup yet for the Pistons. MPJ, I would only go MPJ if he starts. I would just prefer other value plays if he comes off the bench. Who's the best couple of spend-ups? That's tough. I like Drummond a good amount here. Beal, Booker. Let's see. I'm still trying to decide here. The Portland guys with no Whiteside. So I think that's kind of what I'm deciding on right now. Fultz starting, cash viable. Oh, he is starting? Did that just come out, or did I miss that? Okay, so the Pistons are starting Bruce Brown at point guard. Bruce Brown, Kennard, Snell, Markieff Morris, and Drummond. The Magic will start Fultz, Fournier. Okay, so Fultz is starting. Fultz's price tag is, where is he at? He's at 3.7K. I mean, he's looked pretty good off the bench here. I think the minutes go up on him a bit to like 25 to 30 minutes. It's a solid matchup here. So I think he's definitely viable as a cheap option for sure. Bruce Brown starting, yeah. So that takes a hit to Galloway now. I'm not as high on him now. But yeah, trying to figure out what I want to do here with Any Saric. He's very boom or bust. At 4.8K, he's playable for GPPs. He's just a little risky. Galloway or Brown. I'm not super high on either. I think Bruce Brown, I guess. Both are kind of lower usage guys. Whiteside misses. Yeah, I like Scal. The problem is if D'Angelo Russell misses, you're going to want some Golden State guys. So, and that's a later game, so it's tricky with the slate. Like, are you going to take shots on these value guys in the early game? You could do it, but no, if D'Angelo Russell misses, a couple of those Golden State guys are going to crush their price tags. So this is why the slate is tricky, because that's a later game, and I'm trying to decide what really I want to do with my lineup, because I know if D'Angelo Russell misses, one or two, maybe even more of those Golden State guys will absolutely crush. So Vanla over Scal and Gorgie Jang? No, I don't think so now. Coming out the bench, I think Scal and Gorgie are safer, just because I think both played probably 25 or so minutes. Scal or Jang could go both. But yeah, it's tricky. That's really close, Scal or Jang. I would say both, because I'm trying to get both those guys in my lineup right now. Who are your favorite cash plays? Well, I think Gorgie Jang and Scal seem pretty safe right now. I think both those guys should probably play 25 or so minutes. So I think both those guys, again, to me, they seem pretty safe. And then we're waiting on the Golden State news. Like I said, if D'Angelo Russell misses, you're going to want some Golden State pieces. So that's why this slate is tricky. Any locks for you? In Golden State game, Jordan Poole or Damian Lee if Russell misses? I guess Damian Lee, because Jordan Poole's a little scoring dependent, but really both would be great plays. Anthony Tolliver or Bazemore. I'm not super high on either of those guys. I just think there's better value plays on the board. If you're making me choose, though, I'd go Bazemore. I'm not going with Beal shooting guard, but if news comes out that Russell is in tonight, I may pivot to him. Yeah, if Russell is playing, I like him as one of my favorite spend-ups. And that's why the slate is tricky again. Who do you like out of the best 9K guards? Beal, Kyrie, Lillard. It's a really close decision with those guards. I think Beal's in the best matchup, so I guess give me Beal, but yeah, it's close. Kennard or Isaiah Thomas. Not super high on those guys. If Isaiah Thomas minutes limit goes up, then you can go there. I think Isaiah Thomas is a little bit more upside, so I guess IT. Brown starting point guard Detroit, yeah. He's a very low usage guy, but he's viable here. Like I said, if he's starting a point guard, he's definitely in play. Teague or Wiggins and Cash. I think Teague. Wiggins is just too score independent. Vanla, Poole, or Kennard, Jang, Cash. I think Kennard, Jang, just because Gorgie Jang's starting. I think Vanla is a GPP pivot. I like his upside a little bit more. Vanla is a better offensive game. But I think just the safer option because of the minutes right now is Gorgie Jang. And Gorgie Jang's $1,200 cheaper, right? Do you still like Vanla? Yes, I still like Vanla. He's just riskier. I don't think I could go there in cash games. I think the minutes still go up on him, probably 20 or so. And he's a guy that can crush in limited time. So he's more of a GPP target for me now. I just got here. Who is your favorite spend up? It's close for me right now. I like Drummond. I like those guards like Beal, Booker. I would like D'Angelo Russell a lot if he plays. DeAndre Jordan or Pascal if they start. I think I'd go Pascal there. I think the minutes would be safer on him. Dinwiddie or Richardson. Give me Richardson there. I feel like Jang will start to play, then get benched for the rest. Yeah, I mean, there's no guarantee. I'm just like my best guess is Jang plays like 25 minutes, and he's a guy that one given minutes he can get you there. So I do like him as a pretty safe, cheap option here. Simmons or Booker and Cash. That's tough, man. I guess give me Devin Booker. I do like both those guys. The problem is, well, are you playing Horford and Tobias? If you're playing one or both of those guys, then I wouldn't play Ben Simmons. If you're playing no Philadelphia guys, then you play Ben Simmons there. So that's kind of how I'll answer it. If you have Horford and Tobias or one of those two, I think I would lean towards Booker. But if you have no Philadelphia guys, then I would go Ben Simmons there. Dinwiddie or Richardson, I would go Josh Richardson there. I have Horford. Okay, you have Horford. That's really close, but give me Ben Simmons. 4,400 on FanDuel for small forward. Bertans or Markieff Morris? I think I'll go Markieff Morris now. With no Derrick Rose, there's more usage to go around. So, yeah, give me Markieff there. I have a lineup I really like, but I'm 100 over right now. That's annoying. Richardson or Covington in cash. I do like the upside of Robert Covington a lot with no cat. Give me Covington. That's close though. I'm gonna try to get some news here on Rod Beard of who else is gonna get minutes for Detroit. Zeller safe for cash. I do like him as a contrarian play. Him and Thomas Bryant are guys that I think go very, very low owned, but I do like their upside. D'Lo out. That's confirmed out. D'Angelo Russell out. Okay. So now we got to get some. Now we got to get some Golden State guys in. All right, because there's just so much to go around here. I got to rearrange my lineup again, but yeah, no D'Angelo Russell, no Draymond, no Looney, no Steph. We don't know the minutes limit for Willie Cauley-Stein, so I think Poole, Damian Lee, Marquise Chris, like literally any of these guys, they're going to be asked to play big minutes in a great matchup. So yeah, try to get some Golden State guys in. If you guys don't mind giving me a minute or two, I'm going to try to get some. I'm going to try to rearrange my lineup a bit here because I got to get some Golden State guys in there now. That's stuff. Ty Bowman starting. That got announced already? Oh yeah, Warriors will start. Ty Bowman, Poole, Robinson, Pascal, Cauley-Stein. Okay. So, obviously a little riskier now, slightly, with Damian Lee. He's still going to come out the bench, though, and probably play decent minutes. Again, he's a guy that has flash upside here. So, still like Lee. Bowman's now viable that he's starting. I honestly don't know a whole lot about him. So he's definitely viable as a cheap option for sure. Like I said, literally any of these Golden State guys, they're really thin at the guard position, right? They have Lee, Poole, Burks, and Bowman, and that's it. So those guys will be asked to play big minutes. The bigs, Cauley-Stein will play a bit. Again, if he's off his minutes limit, I like him, but I still think they're going to limit his minutes. Pascal seems like the safest option because he's going to play the most minutes. But guys like Spellman and Chris are definitely viable off the bench as well because we know those guys can get you there in limited time. Lee smashes tonight. Yeah, like I said, you're gonna want some Golden State pieces in your lineup now, and that's something I gotta consider. I gotta try to get some Golden State guys in here. FanDuel Burks or Hazonia pivot. I'd go Burks now with all these Golden State guys out. Again, you're gonna want probably one or two of these Golden State guys in your lineup. How many Golden State is too many in cash? I think you could play. I think two, because I think you want to play one of Jang or Scal, as they seem pretty safe at min price. But I'd say 2 to 3 is probably the sweet spot here for Golden State. I like Lee even more off the bench for Charlotte's second unit. Like I said, literally any of these Golden State guys are playable here. Um, Willie Cauley-Stein is starting for Golden State, right? But we don't know what the minutes limit's going to be like for him. They've been limiting him, and I haven't seen anything yet, so that worries me. The tricky part is now for me, like, do I play two Golden State guys or do I play one with Jang and Scal? That's something I'm deciding right now. I think I want to go two Golden State guys. Kennard or Bridges? I think I'd go Kennard now. Um, hmm. This is tricky, man. Uh, is Drummond an absolute must? I don't think he's an absolute must. There's other guys like Beal, Lillard, Booker. So no, I wouldn't say he's an absolute must. I do like him though a good amount. With no D Rose now, it's just there's so much to go around there. Ugh. Pick three: Drummond, Beal, Simmons, Booker. I think I'll go Drummond, Beal, and Booker. Too much value, right? It's complete stars and scrubs build now for sure. Um, it's tricky, and I'm still working on my lineup here. I got like 7 minutes to lock, so I'm trying to get something I feel comfortable with here. Jang or Vanla? I think I'll go Jang as the safer option, Vanla for GPP pivot. Would you be against Simmons, Harris, and Horford in the same lineup? I think yes. I think you play two of those guys. I think all three is a little much. So I don't think I would play all three. I have a bad feeling with Jang in this fast-paced game. They don't play him. Yeah, there's no guarantee for sure. I think those Golden State guys are probably slightly better options now, just because, like I said, there's just so much minutes and usage to go around. You definitely don't have to play him. And like I said, they have Vanla, they have Jordan Bell, so there's definitely Jang is a riskier value play now. Now with the Golden State guys being the way they are, I think you're going to want a couple of those guys. I think Scal's really solid too. So I think Jang is a slightly risky just because they do have other options. Poole or Lee, that's something I'm deciding on too. I might play both, to be honest with you. I guess give me Damian Lee because I think Poole will play more minutes, but Lee has flashed a little bit more upside. That like I said, it's really close for me and something I probably am going to play both. Who around 4.2K are you liking most? Honestly, probably not a whole lot. I mean, I know Vanla's 4.2K, but you could go to Alec Burks. I'm going to ask to play probably bigger minutes. Markieff Morris, I kind of like as a cheap option with no Derrick Rose. It's just more usage to go around. So, yeah, Burks and Morris there in that range. Do you like Pascal? Yeah, I mean, you got to really like any of those Golden State guys. They're just going to ask. They're going to have to play big minutes. So Lee and Burks, you can play both for sure. Let's see. What do I want to do here? Covington, Jang, or Pascal Poole. I think I go Pascal Poole now. I really think you do because they're, like I said, they're going to have to score the ball somehow. It's a good matchup. Graham or Jang? We're talking about which Graham are you talking about? Travion Graham? I think I'd go Jang there. All right, I'm still trying to figure out my lineup here, guys. This is tough. Dame or Simmons? Give me Ben Simmons there with no Embiid. Pascal seems a lot safer now. No Draymond. He plays the Draymond role. Yeah, like I said, I think you're going to want 2 Golden State guys, maybe 3 in your lineup. And then probably Scal now. Like I said, I'm a slightly concerned with Gorgie Jang. I agree with what you guys are saying. He could get run off the court. They have Vonla. They have Bell. So I'm slightly concerned with Gorgie Jang. I still think if he gets 25 minutes, he can crush it, but there is a little bit of concern there. Jang played good with one given time, yes, for sure. Like, he's a point per minute guy. But it's really tough differentiating. Are you going to play Gorgie Jang over those Golden State guys, or are you going to play him over Scal? It's a really tough decision. I think right now the value plays for me are Scal, Gorgie Jang, and the Golden State guys. That's kind of what I'm trying to get at. Play those value plays and then pay up for studs. And like I said, Drummond, Beal, Booker, Lillard, Ben Simmons. I like Al Horford and Tobias with no Embiid. So that's kind of my route right now. And I think I just made a lineup I'm pretty happy with here with 2 minutes to go. So my current lineup right now, I have 3 Golden State guys and Scal as my value plays. And then I spent up on those studs. I'm not going to tell you guys my whole lineup, but that's pretty... that's what I got. I got 3 Golden State guys and Scal right now. Zeller or Rozier utility spot. I like the upside a bit more on Rozier. And I'm a little upset that I'm not playing him now just because the way roster construction works, it kind of is tough to play a guy in the mid-range. So I am a little down that I'm not playing Rozier. I'm probably going to play the late night, though, and play him. So, yeah. My core, Booker, Beal, Horford, Drummond. Yeah, that seems pretty good to me. It's just a good punt. No science. I'm going with Graham, Beal, Kennard, Scal, Drummond. Please stay out of foul trouble. Poole, Lee, Dame, contrarian pick of the night. Yeah, I think Dame is a little bit contrarian, but I do like him. So I think that's pretty solid. I think I have your exact same lineup, DK. I think you do too. I honestly think you do because those are the exact studs that I'm on too. So I think we got the same lineup, Matthew. Rozier will be slept on tonight. Yeah, like I said, I like him a lot, and I don't have him in my lineup currently. I did, but just the way roster construction works, I had to move things around. So do we get any more news? I don't think so. Let's see. Raptors starting the normal guys. Brandon Clark's available to play. Draymond to miss a few games with torn ligament and finger. Let's get that money. Yeah, let's get it, man. I feel pretty good now with the lineup I just built, and I think you have the exact same lineup as me too. But yeah, I feel pretty good about that. Locked up. Good luck and have a good weekend. Yeah, thanks again for coming to check out the stream, guys. Sorry that I didn't upload my video sooner. It was a rough night, so was a little hungover, but yeah. Golden State chalk, yeah, I mean, like I said, I think you got to play a couple of those guys. There's just so much usage and minutes to go around that, yeah, I think you got to play a couple of those guys. Let's go Dame time. I do like that as contrarian. I think Dame is super low owned. I think Dame goes sub 5% owned tonight, so I do like that as contrarian play. But yeah, I think I'm going to hop off here. Let's see how many NBA games we got tomorrow. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games tomorrow, but there are a couple early ones, so it'll be interesting to see what they do for a main slate. But I'll have a video up for that later tonight. I'm going to make my NFL video. I haven't made any content yet for this week 9, so I'm going to have that up tonight if you guys are interested in that. Great job, DK. Thanks, man. Favorite Golden State? I don't think I have a favorite one. I just think you play a couple of them. Like I said, Lee and Jordan Poole probably have the most upside. Again, Damian Lee put up 40 points in a game, 40 fantasy points. Jordan Poole is going to shoot the ball a ton. Pascal seems pretty safe at 4.6K, probably going to play 35 or so minutes. The riskier options are a guy like Marquise Chris, Burks off the bench. But like I said, literally there's any of those guys that are active are viable. Just upload video early, please. Yeah, I'll have my video uploaded tonight for sure. Let me see what Drummond's ownership is on these big tournaments. Drummond's 61% and is $44. That's about kind of what I expected. Let's see what he's in the bigger tournament. Only 48% in the bigger tournament. Yeah, hopefully Drummond stays out of foul trouble. I can never get him right, so he probably will get in foul trouble, but we'll see. Lower CJ, Harris, Bryant, Aaron Baines, Damian Lee, Sarge, Cody Zeller. Thanks for Damian Lee picking. That's what I'm running. Yeah, so I think that is a pretty contrarian lineup. You're fading both the Scal and Gorgie Jang chalk. You're only playing one Golden State guy. You got some guys in the mid-range. I like Thomas Bryant a lot as a contrarian play. Baines is viable. I don't think he puts up 57 again, but he's okay. Sarge is boomer bust. Like I said, that's a contrarian GPP lineup. We have the same lineup, but I'm going Rozier over Horford because I'm only in GPP. Yeah, then that's definitely viable. I like Rozier a lot as a mid-tier play. Damon Lee or McCollum and Graham. I think go Damon Lee there. Kennard only 15%. Seems pretty good. You like Dame plus CJ or Lowry and Siakam? Give me Dame and CJ with no Whiteside. Well, basically 16, but still. Okay. Jokic under 3%. Yeah, so that's a recency bias thing. And on this big of a slate, I like that ownership. It's just whether or not you're going to get the aggressive Jokic or not. Like I said, we see games where he'll shoot the ball 5 times. And we see games where he'll completely take over and shoot it 25 times and just fill up and get a triple-double. So it's just, on this big of a slate, I just didn't want to go there. At least for cash games. But yeah, I think I'm going to hop off here. Thanks for coming to check out the video, guys. Really appreciate it. Again, I'll have the NBA and NFL video up later tonight, so be on the lookout for that. Probably the NFL video up actually after this. Probably record it. So thanks again for coming to check out the live stream, guys. Really appreciate it, and I will see you later.